Welcome to News 18 Showsha. We have with us today Divya Dutta, looking as beautiful as ever. Thank you for joining us on such a lovely day.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you to you for being a part of the News 18 Showsha Reel Awards.
I am so delighted that I am, and I love the name Showsha. Couldn't have been a better title.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about, what you're looking forward to? Is there something specific?
See, I guess when it is News 18, it's going to be something really big. And what I'm really loving is that there's been you've brought both the mediums together. It's OTT as well as features. And there's so much work that has come in to just select out of it has been quite a job. But I'm so glad that it's an amazing platform for all kinds of movies, all kinds of projects, all kinds of storytelling. And and I think I have a delightful team along with me, people I really admire from the core of my heart. And it's been a beautiful journey, and I'm glad that after the pandemic, this is really coming out in a big way, and you're celebrating the movies in such a big way, and to be an integral part of it is lovely.
Yeah. Since we are honoring talents across films and web series, like you said, in the past 1.5 years, a lot of conversation has happened about, content evolving, changing. I would want to ask you, how do you view your journey, especially in the last 1.5 years? What has that been like?
See, I would actually say from the beginning of my career, I've always been a rebel. Never liked being stamped a certain way. That, whichever role I used to pick up, because that time it was like a typical heroine, or then what else do you call her? So I just started calling me an unconventional heroine, because Milka, I was not the heroine romancing the hero, but I was his sister, which was an extremely, I think it was a brother-sister story. Same with Veer Zara. It just happens that amongst all the lead cast that you have, there's this one person you take back home with. So they didn't know how to name me, but I'm so glad in these past 2-3 years that line has actually diminished. Actors are actually looking for roles that are worth doing. They don't mind the length, they don't mind what genre that is. So I'm glad what I've been doing all this while has actually now become easier for all of us. I think also it's become such a democratic medium where you just pick up an actor because you feel they suit the role rather than just go by their past work. So that's amazing. I had mentioned it just recently. The director was sitting and said, let's cast that boy who was in that small role in that show. So I was so amazed and happy that line has totally diminished out. All you need is somebody who suits that role rather than what they have done before. So that's an amazing thing, and I would also like to credit the audience for it, because there's been such a huge change with the audience. They're just not looking at like a typical storytelling. They want different stories. They want characters that they can relate to, which has brought in such an amazing amount of new actors coming in, great technicians, great storytelling. So I think we're living in good times. All we need to do is this thing that we've started, going back to the theatre, needs to continue, and there has to be like that little break between the release of a film coming to the OTT, so everyone can thrive well.
That's right. But tell me something, do people still call you Shabbo?
Not really, I'm glad not. But yes, my cheeks are still pulled. It's
really
lovely, yes. I think that was a role Aditya Chopra had always said you'll be remembered for it. And I am. I'm I think fortunate to have done certain roles in my life that I will always be remembered for. One, of course, is with Sriram Badlapur and Milka Bhag, and Delhi 6, Veer Zara, Stanley. These are a few films I will always count and say very proud of them.
Yeah. I remember speaking to you a while back. You had said that, so you had done this, I would say, a short film called Zindagi In short.
Yes.
And I think you had taken the script to the director.
I had taken it to Guneet. I and the writer, Chowdhury, we were both sitting, and I said, koi achhi wali story bata. So he narrated one story. I said, tell na something else. So he, by the by, just narrated the story to me. I said, this story needs to be told. And I just randomly took it to Guneet Monga, and she said, we will produce it. And I think things just kept happening organically, and that film got made. And I'm so glad that story was told, because there's so many marital rapes that happen.
Absolutely.
And I think this just gave the women wings and to fly, to speak their minds, to take a stand for themselves. I can't tell you how many messages, how many calls I've gotten for that one short film.
Yeah. Is there any plan though for direction?
I don't know, everyone's asking me that, but I'm really enjoying this phase of my life where I'm acting, getting all the nicest roles. What happens is you dilute it. But yeah, in good time, I'm sure I will.
Yeah. What's happening as far as writing a book goes? Are you writing another one?
I'm just right now celebrating these 2 books, going to all the possible book lit fests that are possible. It's a new world for me. It feels nice to be called an author, and it feels nice that I'm not a one-book wonder. I'm just going on writing. So it's nice. Yes, I'm writing another one, which will be short stories, will be fiction.
How do you find the time? You're dabbling in so many things. Looking forward to that though.
Thank you, thank you. I think whenever you want to do something, sometimes these people just call and say, ma'am, will you have dates for this? So I just feel when you really want to do something, you kind of accommodate things you want to do. And I'm somebody who always works on deadlines. So if I have all the time in the world, I won't do even one thing. So if you give me 3 things to do, I know because that is the only time I have, I'll work on deadlines. So I kept telling my editor, please give me deadlines. Tell me this is your last date and I'll keep writing because I just feel I give my best at the last minute.
Wow. Acha, tell me something. Was Suraksha the first film you shot for?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember saying there was Sunil Shetty and I think you had to do this waterfall scene. I don't know.
No, I was doing a rain sequence where he's saving me from the goons.
Yes.
And I was so excited seeing Sunil Shetty that I wouldn't sit. So he told the producer, he says, this is a good find, but she does not sit. And now after so many years, 25 odd years, I think
you're doing another film with him.
Where I'm playing a cop and he just looked at me and said, really? So yeah, it's I think world coming around and you do feel you've come a long way.
Okay, so you shot for your first film, I think in 1995. And, looking back, what is that one advice that you would give to the Divya in the 1990s?
Well, I think the Divya who was in the 1990s really learned to just stumble, fall and just get up again. And I was very fortunate I had a mother who guided me well. So my mother just told me, she said, do you have a godfather? I said, no, I don't. And then she said, do you think you'll sit at home and just wait for a big break to happen and believe people will know you're a good actor? So it kind of hit me. So I said, yeah, so what do you want me to do? She said, just go ahead, do a role that you really believe in and do it so well that people just can't ignore you and then start writing roles for you. And I think after all these 20 odd years, that's exactly what's happened. Where I really tried to give it my X factor to every role that I did. Because that was my mantra for survival. That was my mantra to just, fulfill my passion of being in the movies and get the kind of roles that I wanted my way. And I guess that's really worked for me very well. And now roles are written for me and I think I have no advice for her. Utni naivety hona, utni innocence hona, utni galtiyan karna bahut zaruri hai. Agar main phir jati shayad main phir wahi karti.
That's lovely. Thank you so much. More power to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.